Let's get focused. How do we stay motivated during tough times, during a crisis in life? Here's the thing. I'm Jackson 360, your platform partner. I'm your hustling homie. And I want to talk with you specifically about problems that all of us face, the gifts that we all have. And here's one thing about problems and how we overcome them. Right now, it has been said that either you're in the middle of a problem, you just got over a problem, or a problem is on the way. You see, problems are a natural part of life. It's always something. This is what helps us grow. It's us facing those challenges and then solving those problems. Now, here's the good thing. You got to understand, if you have a problem, every problem can be figured out. It's no different than a math equation. Once you know the formula, if someone says, what's 3 plus 3, you would say 6. But if someone says, what's 3,426 times 500, 424, you probably would need to get a sheet of paper. But you would still figure it out. Why? Because there's a formula to it. And when you figure that, when you write it down, it's figure outable. That's not a word, but I just made it up because it's true. I want you to understand there's a formula for getting over and overcoming and then thriving and taking your life to the next level. Many of us go through patterns and cycles. What you'll notice is in our life, you've experienced this and I experienced this. I know many people that would go through certain, let's say, addictions or certain abuse. And these abuse and these addictions sometimes are actually our gifts. It's the gifts that we have. And I say it's a gift because this is what's allowing us to become stronger and better people. You know anyone, I know I do, who's been physically abused when they were a kid by a parent? And then they go and get in a relationship. Now they're physically abused by the person they're in a relationship with. Then they leave and they go somewhere else and they're being physically abused by another random person. Well, that's a cycle. That's a pattern. And we all seem to go through it, especially in America. Our society is full of these chaotic patterns. We see them every single day. This is why people can get abused and gunned down right in front of us. And we almost walk away as if it's normal and continue our lives, become desensitized. Well, these are the cycles, and we get to break those cycles and those chains. Now, I want you to understand this. Whenever you go through something really negative, it's natural for you to want to react and take control and to go to battle. It's natural for you want to do something to respond physical to people. If someone physically hurts you, you may want to physically hurt them back. But this is what I want you to understand is that many times the abuse that came to you, the solution is not doing the same thing that got you in that position. It takes a different level of thinking, something different you must do to break that pattern. So I'm going to encourage you, instead of being vindictive, instead of just being a victim and accepting this, I'm going to encourage you to focus on you. We have to monitor ourselves. I've had to do that many times with patterns. I found myself abusing myself by getting into relationships that honestly I shouldn't have been in. No, they weren't physically abusive, but I would just be in relationship with women that really I shouldn't have been with because I was doing more harm to myself by lowering my standard. And it has stopped my growth. So at some point, you have to make a change. And so we have to stop focusing on other people. This is a big problem. Sometimes we focus too much on trying to build someone else up and not enough focus on trying to build ourselves. Because once you start self-monitoring and building you, see, other things will begin to fall in place. See, you will begin to attract certain energy to you that is the right type of energy. And see, that energy is going to come to you regardless if you work on yourself or not. That's the same person who's in that negative cycle. They're attracting that same negative energy to come to them. Okay? So we have to realize we have to self-monitor ourselves to get out of these cycles. And two, you have to understand, no matter how bad your situation is, that these are illusions. You see, everything that's outside of you that you can see with your eyes is not 100% real. And you know it's not real because anything that can change in an instant is not absolutely real. I've been in situations where I've been 4 months behind on rent. I've been working and I had no idea I was 30 days behind on work, meaning I was 30 days behind my schedule and what I was supposed to do. I found myself in situations where I said, well, I don't know any way how I can get out of this. But literally in an instant, when you begin to let go of those things you can't control and focus on what you can control, which is yourself, you can see all of those negative things begin to change and begin to leave. Because what you thought was the worst situation ever ends up, it wasn't as bad as you thought. Because it was an illusion. Overcome illusions, many times you have to go internal inside and go into your imagination and tune into something that is invisible, which is the God and the higher spirit that is within you. And you must kind of humble yourself and let go of the things that we can't control. Now, I want to encourage you that the first few times you do this, yes, it may not work the way that you think it may work. Most outcomes are not going to look like what we thought. But this is where you have to train yourself to steady being consistent. You see, you have to prepare yourself by training yourself so that you can survive those hard times. If you look at some athletes like LeBron James or Floyd Mayweather or Steph Curry, right? Or Kobe Bryant, many of these men, like many of us, they go through a huge, difficult thing. If they go through something difficult, it may be with the media, something that people are saying about them. And the thing is, what even on their worst day, the reason why they do better than most people in terms of their performance is because of their training. They naturally see your life will be a result of whatever your lowest standard is, and your standard will be a result of whatever your training is. So we must train ourselves to consistently look within for inner strength, strength that is beyond our understanding, a relationship with a deeper connection with the universe, and train ourselves through some form of meditation, some form of just being gratitude of appreciating what we have. Because believe it or not, there's someone somewhere who has a worse situation than you do, and they're still going to come out and do stronger and bigger and better things than what you've ever imagined was possible. People do it every time, all the time. So I want you to really self-monitor yourself. I want you to pay attention to your patterns. Pay attention. If you've been procrastinating, if you have been coming up with a lot of excuses, things are just not working out the way you thought, many times there's a pattern. There's a cycle. There's certain type of people that you keep attracting. There's certain things, and those things all point back to you. And this is when you have to look in the mirror and you have to be honest. If you're going to succeed and take your life to the next level, we must be honest and say, hey, this is the pattern that I'm stuck in, and I'm really sick and tired. I want to do something different. And you have to have a pattern interrupt, and you got to take massive action and get yourself out of that situation mentally. Do some things that are outside of your comfort zone. Change the people that are around you. And understand when you start doing this, people may think that you're crazy. People may say you're a mess. But I want you to understand, I want you to take your mess and I want you to then create a message, and then you massage the world with that. This doesn't mean you're telling everybody a testimony, but this does mean you can show people through your actions by how you live your life. And so this is why you want to just shut up and hustle. That's why I wrote my first book, Shut Up and Hustle, How to Live the Life of Your Dreams by Thinking Like an Immigrant. Because we are all immigrants, spiritual immigrants to this temporary physical life being on earth. But I want to just encourage you to take things, be in the moment, be present. It's hard for you to evolve if you're focused too much on the past or too much on the future, because both of those are illusions. So you let go of the illusion, focus on the moment, be grateful for what you have in this moment, really connect with your body and slow things down, because many of the answers that you're looking for are all around you. Those people, they're around you. I want you to understand that, but many times you just don't see them because you're not tuned in. You're not hearing them because you're not tuned in, but the universe is trying to speak to you. You just got to change that frequency of the station that you're tuned into and slow things down. Realize some of this stuff is not out of your control, but when you tune in with that higher vibration, you will be tuning in with the proper way that's going to help you evolve through this test to grow and then be able to expand your spirit. So you're built for this. So now it's time that you not just survive, but you thrive. Take your life to the next level. I'm Jackson 360, your platform partner. I want to tell you, you can do it. It's not going to be necessarily the easiest thing, but if you consistently do it, it will happen. It's no mistake that you're watching this video right now. So stay focused, all right? Keep the faith and keep in tune with the present moment. And I look forward to hearing from you. I want you to also subscribe to my page. Leave some comments in the section below. Let me know what struggles are you particularly overcoming, if you have any specific strategies that help work with you. And just leave some comments so we can grow this page and grow this community, grow this culture. Thank you. I love you more than you even understand.